Hello, my name is Todd Naral. I'm an assessment consultant for Foliotek. I've been working here for about 10 and a half years, and I really do enjoy what I do. I spend about half of my time doing sales presentations such as this, and I spend the other half of my time setting up Foliotek for educational partners who choose to use it. Today, I'm going to show you Foliotek Plus Assessment. This is a version of our system that allows for ID pages, e-portfolios, and projects, plus competency-based assessment. This provides an elegant way for users to create great-looking artifacts, whether it's in a project, a mini portfolio, or a complete paginated portfolio. These can be aligned to program competencies and scored versus those competencies to collect data for program improvement and accreditation. I'm going to jump into the system now and show you some samples of some completed work. After that, I'll show you how to build some things and show you how to score them as a faculty as well. I'll conclude today's presentation by showing you the reporting system. This is my ID page. I built this to tell my story. I started by telling a little bit about who I am and providing a picture. I embedded a project into my ID page, which I'll show you momentarily. I also linked to my portfolio, gave some information about where I've worked and where I went to school. I also took a little bit of time to link my ID page to my Facebook account, my LinkedIn account, as well as my Google Plus account, so I can push the ID page to the profiles on various social networking systems to get the word out about who I am. This is a great way to look for employment when you're done with a program. Students can start to think about creating that professional narrative as they're going through school, which would give them time to make it better as they go. I embedded a project or a mini portfolio right into my ID page. Let's take a look. I used to be a sixth grade teacher, and teaching accountability to my students was very important. I created this project to show how I would do that. First, I included an overview, as well as some artifacts about how I taught accountability. I used to have sixth grade students calculate their grades as they went through my class in order to teach them what it was like to get grades for the first time. I would always tell them, I don't give you any grades, you earn the grade that you get, and here's the math for how that works. This project also includes a description of our first project. When I got into sixth grade teaching, I really wanted to get them started with something that was light and fun, so I had them create a country. And I could hold them accountable at their different learning levels. I also included an artifact about our classroom and behavior management plan to hold students accountable for their behaviors. And another one which talked about my design for instruction, how I was to hold students accountable for their learning at their own level with different types of projects that I would create. Finally, I included a video of myself teaching a mini lesson, which would start one of the projects that we did early on. So a project is a great tool to quickly and easily build a nice looking artifact or set of artifacts that tell your story. All you have to do is pick a nice looking picture and put your work in. It doesn't take a lot of time for design. If you do wish to get into more design, then you use an e-portfolio. I'm going to show you mine. I linked to my portfolio through my ID page. Here it is. I decided to use the Chicago background for both my ID page and my portfolio because that's where I'm from. It tells a little bit about who I am. On this portfolio, I decided to include pages for each aspect of my life. I started with some information about who I am and where I came from, along with an embedded copy of my resume. A page about my interests, including a slideshow of different things that I like to do. As you can see, I'm into bicycling and raising these two little guys. A page about being a student at various learning institutions, about being a teacher at various learning institutions, and teaching these two little men how to grow up to be adults. A page about being a coordinator at the University of Missouri, where I first learned about Foliotek and became very knowledgeable in using it. Eventually, that led to my work here. A page on our assessment tools and how I've used them to help programs earn their accreditation. Finally, a page about being a husband with a nested page about being a father. I've shown you my portfolio to give you a little bit of insight into who I am, as well as to show you a number of different tools that can be used, such as grids of pictures and videos and all kinds of artifacts that can be easily embedded into a portfolio without having to write any technical code. It's all point and click. I'll be showing you this here in a little bit. Last, I left a page for people to leave comments about what they saw on my portfolio. Next, I'll show you a sample student and his ID page. He embedded 3 projects which he built for his courses. Some programs utilize project-based learning so you can incrementally show that students are meeting your standards course by course. One of the neat things about this tool is that a faculty member can easily build a template for whatever curriculum they wish to include in a project template. Students can then build their project off of that template by virtue of being a member of that course's community, a tool I'll show you here in just a moment. Let's take a look at one of Johnny's projects on problem solving. This is something he did as an assignment for one of his courses. He included his artifacts. Any kind of artifact, such as a PDF, a video, an Excel file, a PowerPoint, can be included in a project. If you can store it on a computer, you can store it in Foliotek. Here's a video that he watched to learn more about problem solving, and another about solving problems creatively. He also reflected upon what he learned with these reflection questions. Finally, he decided to tag his portfolio. In this case, it's a mini portfolio or a project, but he tagged it with problem solving and decision making. One of the exciting things Foliotek is working on for the very near future is a job matching tool, which will allow potential employers to look up students by these tags and categories and achievements. Students, of course, would have to opt in if they wish to participate in such a program. These are the standards that were covered by this particular project. They're clearly communicated to students and faculty. Let's take a look at Johnny's portfolio as well. He went through a series of doing projects during his program, and at the end, he built a job search portfolio. He included a page about himself, along with a video of himself being interviewed with some key questions about his field, and an embedded resume. He also left an inline file view of his transcripts, some information about his work history with some references in professional organizations of which he is a member. Finally, he decided to take a few of his best projects and wrap them into his portfolio, something that's easy to do. And he included a feedback page so those who saw his portfolio could give some feedback about what they saw. Before I get into Foliotek and show you how to build some products, I'd like to first show you the community tool. We have an integration with learning management systems, which allows for the course rosters to be imported into Foliotek. And by virtue of being a student in that course, I'd automatically be a member of this community, as well as the instructor of the course would be the moderator of that community, which gives me the avenue I need to build both portfolio and project templates for students to build their work from. So as a faculty member, I can always decide, well, this is a great assignment that can really show their proficiency within a standard. I can build it on the fly whenever I would like, align it to standards, and score it versus those standards quite easily. This page shows the members of my community, or the people in my Introduction to Business course, in this example. This page shows all the projects that were joined into the community by those students. And finally, a page with e-portfolios that were also joined into the community by the students. These projects can be easily shared either publicly or privately by students. That is also true for these communities. The communities can be shared as a public website, or they can be private for just the moderator to be able to see student work, or a true based community, which allows people in the community to see each other's work and comment on it using these icons here. Next, I'm going to get into Foliotek and show you how to build a project and a portfolio.